Welcome, everyone. This is Dan Richard here with the Hidden Dimensions podcast. Here at Hidden Dimensions, we seek to uncover the perspectives, the values, techniques that give data science its meaning in this ever-changing, ever more complex world. And the hDim podcast is a production of the Florida Data Science for Social Good program here at University of North Florida. So I'm your co-host, and I'm also here with co-host Karthik. Hey, Karthik.
Thanks, Dad. I'm the co-host, Dr. Karthikeyan Umapathy, Professor in School of Computing and co-director for Florida Data Science for Social Good. Welcome to episode 9.
Yeah, so this is, in this episode, we get to talk about the Data Science for Social Good Internship. And we're going to have some guests on that have worked as past interns with the internship and learn a little bit more about that and how their leadership style and how that works. So really excited to have our guest with us. First, Abhishek Singh. He's a data analytics engineer at Kohl. So welcome, Abhi.
Thank you for having me here. I'm very excited and looking forward to it.
Yeah, great. And also we have YuanYuan Yang. She is a Ph.D. student at Washington University in St. Louis. YuanYuan, welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Dan and Dr. Karthik. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. So both Abhi and YuanYuan, they actually participated in the data science internship in different years.
Yes.
Abhi worked in 2019 with Feeding Northeast Florida, and YuanYuan worked with the Cathedral Arts program.
Correct.
Project in 2003, just last year. But both of them served as what we call project leads. And so they were kind of responsible for making sure the project was going, getting things done, that sort of thing. So I think it's great. We're going to have some unique perspectives from them. So Abhi, YuanYuan, just tell us a little bit, how did you get started in this whole data science field altogether? How did all of that start? When did you get started in that?
Yeah, so for me, it actually goes back to like 2018 when I graduated from undergrad. So when I graduated, I was looking into further continuing my education. And that's where we had the big data science boom. Data science was hot. Everyone was talking about data science. And that's where I started considering this sounds interesting. And I took some courses. I got really interested in data science. And that's where I applied for my master's in data science in Syracuse. So that's where I got introduced to data science. Going in, I didn't have a lot of experience through my master's. I got some experience, and then in 2019, when I was looking for an internship, that's how I came across the program.
Good.
So that's how I got started.
So what was your bachelor's on, Abhi?
So it was not in data science actually, because data science wasn't the thing back then.
Yeah.
So my bachelor's was in your typical electrical engineering. Yes, electrical engineering. But then decided to pivot to go into data science.
So as an electrical engineer, what are the data science courses you took in bachelor that created interest for you on data science field?
So it was actually not data science courses. It was more like statistics courses. So
nice.
fortunately or unfortunately, we had a lot of math courses in undergrad. We had 5 or 6 math courses that we had to take, and a bunch of those were statistics courses, just signal processing and all that. And that's where I kind of started liking statistics, and that's how I got into it. Also happened to be a TA for a stats class in Syracuse. So that's how I got into it.
All right, interesting, nice.
Yeah, and YuanYuan, how about you? What was your path into data science?
Yeah, so for me, actually, my bachelor was in business school as a management student, and my master is a public policy school. Sounds like not so much related to data science. However, my master's thesis, our task is to predict the poverty change over time for Chinese population. So that was my first exposure to data science because we used some machine learning tools to do the prediction. But then I entered my PhD program in social work at Washington University in St. Louis. We're very lucky, even though within a social work school, we have professors, they are so devoted to machine learning, data science work. So we have courses for machine learning, for deep learning, and also we have even certificate and programs for that. So I continued my passion through my master's thesis about machine learning, and that was strengthened actually during my PhD study at Washington University in St. Louis. So even though I was a social work PhD student, but I used those tools and very passionate about that. So when I get to know this FL-DSSG program, I was very excited, and I said, okay, this is the intern that I want to do.
Okay, very good, very nice. Right.
Yeah, so each of you, so Abhi coming from electrical engineering and YuanYuan, you from a social sciences background, and then now you're coming to an interdisciplinary data science program. I want you to tell us a little bit about what that experience was like working with people from different backgrounds on a data science project, but also a social good project and the different dimensions of that.
Yeah, sure. So for me, it was quite an experience, just because the difference in like backgrounds with my teammates. I remember like one of my teammates was like an anthropology major, and I honestly didn't have any idea of what that was. So it was like just fun working with like people from different backgrounds. I feel like the most exciting part was just the different perspective on the same problem. Just coming from like a more technical background, my perspective was more like I would have like a tendency to like just jump into solutions, like having like, oh, let's do this, let's do that. That's where like I feel like my teammates really like helped me, like, you know, let's take a back seat. Let's like hear what the problem actually is, what like different repercussions this could have, and that's where. So yeah, I feel like just looking at the same problem from like different perspective was like really the major like lesson I took from just working with teammates from different backgrounds.
Good.
Yeah, and I think I was going to say you know, that stepping back and thinking about a problem from different perspectives takes a little bit more time, right? It's like you have to shift it. You want to quickly get there, you want to quickly get to a solution, but then taking that time to think more about the complexity of the problem, I think is really key. And so YuanYuan, you are coming from that social sciences background. You're seeing that complexity as you started as well, but then you're also bringing in some different perspectives as well. Is that right?
Yeah, and I worked with Amanda, and she's actually majoring in psychology. So even though we're from different disciplines, but like people who applied for this program, we all shared something common. We are all interested, whether in data science or whether data science for social good, both sides. So I feel it's very easy to work with Amanda, and also with our other team members for other projects. We do even though we come from different disciplines, but we have different. That also means we have different strengths. We have different knowledge. So when we talked about our projects within our group or across groups, I feel like those are quite valuable. That we are contributing different perspective and our knowledge. So yeah, for me that was also quite an experience and very helpful to work in an interdisciplinary team.
Good. So I know each of you applied in different year for the Florida Data Science Social Good Internship, but regardless to the Florida version of the DSSG, when was the first time you heard there is a thing that data science for social good? And when you heard it, what did you think about it? Meaning, what you thought it was?
Yeah, so for me, it was like I would say like spring 2019 when I'm like, okay, like I want to like do an internship. I want to like, I've been like learning all these skills, but I want to like, like get my hands dirty on a problem. So for me, it was like, that's when I started looking for like different internships in this field. And through my internship search, I came across the DSSG program, the Florida DSSG program. Um, Initially, like I didn't know what to think because like I didn't have like any like nonprofit experience.
Correct.
I didn't have any like social good experience as such. So I was really like curious, like about like like not a lot of like idea going in like what it is. I remember thinking to myself that like because data is so prevalent and it, obviously like nonprofit also like collects a lot of data, and if you're like, and because I was like looking to like work on like more like impactful projects, I was just like, I remember thinking like, okay, like what could be more impactful than working on something that actually does some social good. So that was my thinking going in.
Yeah, so it's the data and impact was the hook for you. Nice.
Yep.
Go ahead, YuanYuan. Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, kind of like similar thoughts. And so when I first heard data science for social good, I feel like that is so aligned with my personal aspirations. Because nowadays we saw a lot of innovations, applications come from data science and artificial intelligence, right? That is impacting our daily life and that is shaping our future. So I do, and also because I had the related training, so I do embrace and believe the potentials that data science and the artificial intelligence could change our daily life. But if you're looking at social science, and it's for me, for social work discipline, there are very few applications that we're integrating data science into our research or also for our practical programs. So when I saw this notion of data science for social good, I feel like that is a perfect linking of the innovation, whether from the industry and also from the data science academia, and we can bring those kind of innovation. We can benefit from those innovations in our social and public goods. So I feel like that was for me that was a perfect matching of my imagination, and also my aspiration.
Yeah, the focus on the social innovative solutions we build was the key focus for you that add the attraction into this internship program. Nice.
Yeah.
So each of you were coming from different backgrounds, but each of you served in a leadership role on your project teams, and so I want to dive into that a little bit about what was your expectation when you heard like, oh, I'm going to be a project lead. It's not just I'm part of an internship, but I'm going to be a project lead. What were your initial expectations, and what surprised you as you went through that process?
Yeah, so when I heard I was the project lead, honestly, like I was like thrilled. My initial expectation was to like, just like get like more responsibility, like work like end to end. That is something that we don't end up doing like in grad school, just working on a problem end to end. So that was my initial expectation, and that's what I would definitely say that was something that did happen. What surprised me honestly was just thinking that about the problem. I was like, okay, like I'll be like working on this problem with my teammates. I did not consider how much work, like one-on-one work, we'll be doing directly with the nonprofit. In this case, like our like clients. So yeah, like that was like honestly what like surprised me, because I remember meeting the nonprofit on the very second day of the internship, and they were like describing the problem, and I was like, okay, like this is something new that I didn't expect, like working directly with them. So yeah, that like caught me a little off guard, but like it really like helped me like develop that muscle of like, okay, like working directly with your users in this case, I would say.
Interesting. Yeah. So the social interaction was a catch that you didn't think about. Yeah. Nice. Go ahead, YuanYuan.
Yeah. So for the thing that I was when I know that I would be the project lead, I'm excited but also nervous. I'm excited because this is something that I'm really interested in, whether the population that we're serving and the especially the project per se. But for the other side, I'm still nervous because I'm wondering like how much we're gonna highlight or emphasize on data science. I'm wondering, even though I have some data science skills, whether it's enough to really complete the task. That is my initial feeling of being told that I'm going to be the project lead. But but this was confirmed. We had a lot of data-driven approaches. We have a lot of discussion about data, but that is the tool. Our final goal is using data to serve our project goals, to complete our project tasks. So throughout the whole internship, I feel like, okay, data piece, and it's definitely a core piece, but that is serving for our final goal. So I saw the integration of both elements, and that was confirmed. And in terms of what really surprises me, I feel like it was the rapid reaction led by the Cathedral Arts Project, by them. Because when we're doing, we as interns, we are producing evidence. We are using data to producing evidence. We are working on data, but with those data outcomes, Cathedral Arts Project, they are actually very enthusiastic to expand the impact of this data results. And for instance, when they find that a field trip is very beneficial for children's grade improvement, so they quickly started to initiate this a free field trip for kids. And if I don't remember wrong, I think they have impacted more than 3,000 kids within a very short period of time. Yeah, and also for the work that we were doing, we creating the rubric system, try to strengthen the arts education development in Dover County. So with that rubric system we built, Cathedral Arts Project, that they very quickly talked with the local leaders, and they really try to, and all and other community partners try to launch that rubric system. So I was very surprised by their rapid reaction, because we asked as the intern, the work we're doing saw tangible changes, which is very rewarding for us.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm also surprised at how fast, how effectively Lucy Chen in Cathedral Arts Project utilized the findings and the outcomes that we came up with. And that is the why we are doing this. That was really, really good to see things like that. So, YuanYuan, you initially mentioned at the start of the project, you were a little bit nervous, right? I think that nervousness, anxiety did carry over into a few weeks into the internships. How did you get over it? How did you control it? Or how did it help you in a sense of doing the work? Did it ever affect you or did not affect you? And when did that thing go away? Or did it ever go away?
Yeah, and I would say overall, the anxiety comes with me as my friend throughout all the process. But it was a friend in a good way. So, so actually, two parts of it. So for the anxiety per se, I carried with it. I bared with that, but I have a lot of support. I have you and Dr. Dan. I can talk about those things. And also, I have Amanda, which is my teammate, and we talk up. Yeah, I shared my anxiety, and you really helped me to calm down. That is for my mental well-being, and also for the technical components of data science skills. So as I said, we have Dr. Dan helped me a lot, and I regard myself. I believe myself as a quick learner, so I learned based on what I have already know. So that was also driven by the anxiety. So the anxiety helped me to move forward until the last minute when I stepped down of
On the
the big
stage.
review
Yeah.
stage. Yes.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and Abhishek, what about for you? I mean, what kind of shifts did you have to make during the internship?
Yeah, so for me, I would say I wasn't like as used to like talking about my work that frequently. It's just like I remember we had to like make presentations to the nonprofit that was our clients, and then we also had to like had to make presentations to seek feedback. So that was honestly like very new for me. I remember Dr. Karthik coming to me and he like gave me a feedback that, oh, Abhishek, I noticed one thing that when you're a little nervous, you just like don't complete your sentences. And I was like, oh my God, I never thought about that. And he was just like, I know you're getting nervous. I know it's like tough at times because you're like working with a lot of different people. So yeah, just like try to be more concise in the way you present. And then like, I feel like my presentation skills like really like developed throughout the internship.
Yep.
And hopefully it like showed in the big reveal a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're making these shifts, right? And you're learning. And I think YuanYuan, you said you learned a lot. So one of the most important things about an internship experience is then you can learn something in that experience and then translate that to what you're doing next. So I'm curious about what do you think are those things that you learned during the internship that you could translate and get and transpose and get that those particular skills out into the next thing that you've been working on?
Yeah, so I honestly feel like I can go on and on about this because there was like so many things that I learned. So just like piggybacking off my last point, so the presentation skills, I remember during our internship, we had to like present every week, but then we had like two types of presentations. One was the presentation. One was like when we present to the nonprofit, we are like letting them know this is the progress that we've made. This is what we've done so far. This is the direction that we are going in. And like just get their thoughts on that. And then the second type was just like presenting to our like all our like mentors. That was more like here's where we are stuck, here's where we need help with, and just getting feedback. So that honestly has helped me a lot in like industry because the first kind of presentation to the client was very similar to like right now in industry when you're like present to customers or your stakeholders, you're like updating them on your progress that you've made. You're like getting their feedback on like just the direction that you're heading in. So that's like very same to that. And then with the mentors, that I feel like is so because that I feel like is so helpful because at times when you're like working on a problem, it's hard to like describe your thought process and where you're stuck so that people can help you. People can only help you if they know exactly like what's going on and like where they can like chime in. So just like talking through your thought process about a problem, that was a muscle that I developed through those like presenting to our mentors. And honestly, they were so helpful. And yeah, just like that carried forward to like presenting to my own team at work, just getting their feedback on things and so on. The other thing was for me, like I was very like, as I mentioned earlier, I was very like solution minded. Working with a diverse team, you like learn how to like pause before jumping into solutions. You learn how to like think about problems in different ways. I remember one of our mentors gave me this like good piece of feedback. She was like, yes, all this works, but then have you like thought about like from like what about this solution? Like how does this affect the nonprofit directly? And that's where something I was like so like deep down in the data that I was like, okay, yeah, like I haven't like taken some time to like think about the problem from their perspective.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was another thing, just like thinking about the problem more like broadly. And then I feel like the last thing that I have to mention is just how messy the data can be and like just how much work you have to like put in before you like even start thinking about like delivering outcomes. Like I'm sure you guys remember the back and forth that we had on the data.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
let's get it ready, and then yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, quite a eventful journey for me.
Yeah, we usually say it's 80% of the work is getting the data ready and processing it, cleaning it, understanding it. It's about 80%. But then you feel it when you're actually in the internship. You hear that 80%, you're like, oh no, it can't possibly be that. And then when you get into the internship, it's like, oh no, they were right. That's exactly what it needs to be. So yeah, good point. Yuan, what about you? What do you bring from that internship and use now?
Yeah, so I echo the 1,000 times for what just Abhishek talked about, whether about the data, whether about the communication. So I have learned so much from this internship, but if we're talking about the most useful skill, like for me, I personally feel like it's just like what Abhishek talked about, it's the communication and it's the cross-disciplinary and the strategic communication because we are talking to different audiences. When we're talking within our groups, right, we're talking about all the things happening and all the problems that we're facing so far. But when we're talking with our mentors from different background, we have academia mentors and also we have industrial mentors. Even though they have their, but when they come into our mentor meeting, they have different actually because they have different backgrounds. They will also might have different expectations. So when we're presenting our projects, when we are asking for help, we get a lot of good suggestions but the thing is that they are bringing their perspective, very helpful. But when we are listening to their suggestions, at the same time, we have to bear in mind what is our project goal. Because we are, right, there are, as I said, they have different expectations, but we are the interns, we are the people who are really working on it on a daily basis. Good. And that is a kind of art to absorbing the suggestions, but at the same time, don't ever forget our goal, our project destination.
So how are you using all of those in your PhD program? Are you able to do that? Or are you able to get feedback from different people to improve your doctoral work, PhD work? Or how is you utilizing those kind of ways to get feedback to improve your work? Go ahead.
Yes. So for my PhD study, it's kind of like similar scenarios.
Good.
I have supportive mentors, and they are also they are in my related fields, but they have different expertise. So when we're talking about the projects that I'm working on, and they bring different perspectives. They have different ideas, but I when I'm learning from them, getting those feedbacks, getting those suggestions, I'm absorbing, but at the same time, I have to purposefully or strategically absorbing those information. Because this project is, for me, that was fundamentally my work, right? I probably understand some of the details more than anyone else. So so bear that in mind. So strategically absorbing those suggestions, finally, automatically serving for the project goal. I feel like that is the shared experience I had at the DSSG and also in my PhD study.
Good. So I know Abhi has been graduated and it's been a long time now in the field. YuanYuan, you are still as a student, but you are now senior, right, in your own doctoral program. How now you guys have started sharing what you have learned to others so that when you see your juniors or the newcomers are being in your company, or same thing, new PhD students just joining your program, have you started talking to them, helping them do things differently based on your own experiences? Diverse experiences now both of you have. Have you guys started doing knowledge transfer, sharing things?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I definitely have.
Uh-huh.
So just at work, like I feel like every summer we have like interns
Mm-hmm.
joining the team, and then we have like people rotating into the team. I just rotated to another team. So um, we call it like KT, knowledge transfer. So that is like a
Okay.
big part of like, just like bringing someone up to speed. So like making them feel comfortable, making them feel welcomed, making them like just like entering any like new team or like new job is like so overwhelming. So yeah, just like that mentoring aspect. I have, as you said, I do have some experience now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I have like made some like mistakes in my journey. So I just like let them know that like, okay, like this is what I have done. Again, like you don't want to like um
Prescribe. Yeah.
I try to be more of a guide, yes, than like you don't just show them the path because everyone has their own path. But then yeah, like
Correct.
just like helping with my own experience, like
Mm-hmm.
just one example would be, especially when you're like presenting to like stakeholders, like what you should be like talking about, what you could like kind of leave out, what they're more interested in, what they're looking for, and basically just being ready for the back and forth. That I feel like especially for someone who's new, just like having like that back and forth, like catches them like a little off guard.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily, during my internship, I had a lot of those back and
Yes.
forths, especially with the mentors. And so, yeah, just like, yeah, making them feel comfortable there is what I try to do.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. YuanYuan? Yeah.
Yeah, and for me, when we have new PhD
Mm-hmm.
students come in the program, and when we're talking, I always talk about it's very important to do self-care because pursuing a PhD is very demanding,
Okay. Yeah.
mentally and technically. So so and it took for a couple of years to really complete this degree, and it's fine that if you find that this is not what you're pursuing, and you can just quit. But if you find this is something that you're so passionate about, and this is kind of like something you're so into, in that sense, pursuing a PhD and suffering from it might be the ordinary journey of so many PhD graduates. So self-care is very important, and dealing and working with our perfectionism is also very
Mm-hmm.
important.
Mm.
So people
Yeah.
coming here, they get admission. They come in here with their expectations, and they do have some expectations for the program and also for themselves. It's fine that we spend some time to navigating what we really want, and it's also needs some time to find the our living spaces within
Mm-hmm.
this program
Yeah.
Mm.
in that scenario. So we don't really have to rush, and we should be fine with hesitation. Hesitation could be with us all the time. So I always would love to share with our new PhD cohort members, saying that the patience and dealing with perfectionism also will help us to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Very good suggestions. Yeah.
Yeah, I think when you do a data science project, you realize that that perfection is not really the goal,
Yeah.
right? It's really like making progress, and that there's going to be a lot of back and forth and feedback. It's
tricky.
never perfect.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
one of the benefits of a data science for social good internship is recognizing the potential impact of the data science projects that you can do, and thinking about the social good aspect. And so I'm wondering if those social good perspectives and the potential impact of data science work that came to the forefront for you all during the internship, and do you see that maybe impacting you now? Now I know YuanYuan, you came from a social science discipline. You were already thinking about these data as relating to humans and relating to people and looking at social issues. So what did anything change for you? Did it just like reinforce what you were already thinking about in that perspective?
Yeah, actually, it reinforced and also expand my perspective of utilizing data science as a tool to improve social good. So yeah, so my interest is about social or public good, but data science as a very strong tool that I feel like it should be integrated into this task completion. At the same, so I definitely embrace, even though as a social science student, I definitely embrace the power of how data could improve our work. But at the same time, I'm still aware. I'm still awareing of what if we oversell or overuse this data science power.
Yeah,
So
that's a good point,
if we have a well-trained model with a very biased data, and we apply that into our reality, into our public system, so we will perfectly discriminate people they are underrepresented.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in that sense, for me as a data science person in social good world, I feel like for my responsibility is to utilize this strong, powerful tool, but at the same time beware of its potential side effect that would impacting our public system. So whether about the ethics, whether about the fairness of the algorithm, all this stuff. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm still thinking this is a strong tool that we should use. We should not be getting rid of it because of the side effect. The final goal is to control the side effect at the same time, make the best use of it to create more useful and helpful public goods for a larger population.
Yeah,
Good, very nice.
good. Abby, what about you? The social good dimension was you said that it was a little bit different from what you had done in your program, and now you're working at an organization that deals with a lot of data about people, right? How does that impact your work?
Yeah, so for me, the big thing is just having empathy for the customer at the end of the day. So that is something that I have like carried forward from my internship. So I actually happen to work with a lot of like marketing data, and when we work with marketing data, the data in the tables that we work with aren't just like records. They are like actually like customers that we like reach out to through different like marketing purposes. So just like implementing any like solution from our end, I always go back to like thinking about like, okay, like this is actually going to a customer in their house who's going to get this email or this like pamphlet in their mail. So like how would this like make them feel and all that. So yeah, just having that empathy for that customer is and that like gets you a long way, honestly, when you like design solutions. So that is something that I've like carried forward from my internship, definitely.
Yeah, nice to hear that you carry forward the design thinking, the first stage of design thinking. So, Abhi, you also been doing a little bit of best practice sharing outside your work. You have your blog, you write Medium articles. So, yeah, if you want to plug in those and talk a little bit about it, go for it.
Yeah, so that honestly has been like something that I learned just with my internship. Like there's this concept of like showing your work and how that like makes you better, gets you like feedback from different sources. Something that we did during the internship for our mentors. So yeah, I've just been. I just like have a blog where I like write about some problems that like made me actually go beyond that single step of thinking, that single step of like designing the solution. So that I just like have so I just like try to like describe these problems in like ways that like others can also like relate with. That's basically about it.
Yeah, good job on those. Keep doing it. And congratulations on being an academic journal author too.
Yeah. So I actually also like had my first paper published. So that was also quite a journey. Just not being from that strict academic background, I just happened to like come across this opportunity where I had the chance to like contribute using my skills. So again, like trying to like just keep. I just try to keep growing in this field and yeah, see where it takes me.
Yeah, congrats again. Keep doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that kind of takes us to like, okay, what's next?
Yeah.
And what are you thinking about in terms of the future of data science and your role in it? And so so maybe YuanYuan, tell us about like what's on the horizon for you and how you'd like to see your use of data science here in the future.
Yeah, so for me, my academic goal is I want to serve in academia as a professor, researcher, and also linking the academia knowledge to the practicum in social science, especially in social work. So yeah, as I mentioned that there are actually few applications of integrating data science into social work. So how I if you're asking how I would say my future in this field, I would love to be those kind of few people that linking data science into our field. Because as I keep saying, because of the strong power and because we just can't escape from it. This is how the future societal development and social workers we are serving kind of like the last mile of a policy implication from the very beginning to landing into ground. So I saw there is a great potential that social work researchers could utilize data science. Actually, there's a field called like social computation, really related to the concept of utilizing data science in social good. Yeah. So I definitely would love to contribute to be part of them. And also, as a social work researcher, we have a special role to serve in this data science for social good world. Because especially like if we have this social work knowledge, we have this social science background. At the same time, we're trained in data science. We can serve as part of the doorkeeper, as I mentioned, to try to level down the potential negative effect, but also try to make the best use of this data science power. Yeah, so that is my ultimate goal is to serving in the data science for social good area in academia.
Yeah, the metaphor that I hear you talking about is sort of like serving as a bridge, right? Like you said, doorkeeper, but yeah, I see that bridge role as well. It's kind of bringing these two areas together. Yeah, Abhi, what about you? What's how is data science growing in your field, and what things are you looking forward to?
Yeah, so for me, I have a very like different goal, I would say. For me, I'm like lately I've been more interested in just like the end-to-end like design of solutions. So like more like and then scaling solutions. So yeah, just that part of like having the same solution work in like a production level environment. So just the complete like data architecture there from like the source to like the data pipeline to the end user and how that affects. So that's where like I've been like, and from my past few years of industry experience, that's also like something that I've like learned. And I look at myself like in the future to like keep growing in this area, like possibly like be that leader someday that can like look at a problem and like work with the customer and like come like just like help develop the complete like end-to-end architectural solution for that problem. So that's definitely like one of my goals.
Very good.
Yeah. Well, thank you both. I mean, this is a great conversation, and it's so great seeing you all develop in your career and the things that you're doing, and how these internships can be powerful and impactful. So appreciate you being here. So for our listeners out there, we continue to be a champion for data science for social good and keep working in this field. And so we encourage you all to keep up with us, subscribe. We'll have some more information for you, some more guests for you to talk about this great field.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for listening, and feel free to reach out if you'd like to participate and talk with us in the podcast.
See you, everyone.
Thank you. See you.
Thank you.